Is your mic muted, Brian?
Might be. There we go. Can everybody hear me now? We know what we're doing here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the Clockwork Nexus. You will see some familiar faces here, but new names because we are in a brand new campaign. So before we get to our intros for everybody, Justin, we have an intro video, a brand new intro video that we're going to show everybody. And then we will get to meeting all these wonderful people that we have. Maybe, if Justin's ready. Beautiful. Again, welcome to our brand new campaign. As you just saw, Gold and Ghosts. So we will go around the table a little bit and get some introductions before we get into rolling some dice and doing some dungeoning and some dragoning. Does that sound good to everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Let's do this. Let's start off with the ever-elusive Selkie. What's up, Chica?
Hi, I'm Selkie. You can find me on TikTok at Tides of Ashling. I'm going to be playing Ellie, a super cool druid. She's the daughter of a chieftain. She's a writer. She's an artist. And she's just a very happy-go-lucky kind of gal.
Beautiful. And new Ken.
And now I can unmute. There we go. All right. You can find me over on TikTok at Old School Kenny, and I am going to be playing Ubriel Ferrarius, our master forger, artificer, and cannon gunsmith guy. So he's all about killing things and blowing stuff up. And he's out for revenge-ish, maybe. There were some people that hurt his family and killed them and made him real sad, and it was all over cannons. So yeah, it's kind of a touchy thing for him, and yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We're gonna have a good time.
Beautiful. And then we will go over to Old Ken, our resident D&D expert, who is now fully in costume. Remember to unmute yourself before you start, Ken. Pretend he's a pirate.
Yarr.
Hey, thank you. I am super excited. I have the rest of my costume. I'm getting made. I really am getting into this character. I'm more Drunken Blade. You can find me over at. Well, you can find me about anywhere. Just fucking Google this shit. Hashtag more or at more Drunken Blade. You'll find me just doing building stupid shit, painting dumb stuff. But anyway, this is about our characters. So I am playing Morel d'Astore. Morel is a rogue, and just recently also became a little bit of a warlock. but we'll go into that in a little bit. He is actually a Hexblood, which I've never played before. And he was a variant human prior to that, but now is a Hexblood. He's entered into a pact with a coven of sea hags to get him off an island that he was stranded on. And his pact basically is that he will live out his entire lifetime. So we'll say to at least level 20. And then he will return and forgo all of the knowledge that he has gained throughout that period of time and everything magical that he possesses or has been able to like accumulate for them. And then he will be given the option whether to become a hag spawn or continue on back in his existence without a memory and basically go back to level 1 or 0, back to his 50-year-old age individual self. He believes that he has lived at least 2 or 3 of these lives before, but he has really no knowledge of it other than he remembers sea coastal towns, passageways, and things like that. But I will allow you all to continue because when I do the recap, we'll talk a little bit more.
Awesome. Next, we'll go right down there to Mr. Justin.
Hello. So I'm playing Gale. He is an Air Genasi cleric monk. He is a very hyper, let's just say yes to everything, caution to the wind in a very literal way kind of guy. And he is best friends with the person right next to me, Marella.
Yep. And don't forget, resident pharmacist.
I am also the ship's resident pharmacist and counselor.
So that will only lead to good things. And next up is the lovely Miss Taylor.
Thank you, Deanna Troy.
That works on so many levels. I'm not going to comment. Taylor, you are muted, darling.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted on the site. Anyway, hello, my name is Taylor, also known as Nerdy Pinup Girl on most social media platforms, mainly active on TikToks and the Instagram. If you like cosplay, if you like special effects makeup, smashable monsters, feel free to give me a follow. Today, I am going to be playing the lovely and wonderful Marilla Luminescent. I love it. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm going to be playing the lovely Marilla Luminescent. She is a water genasi bard inspired by the glowing waters of Japan, best friends to her fellow glow buddy, Gale. And they were adopted by, they were adopted by the wonderful captain of the ship who seems to have been taken by a street shark. And
no, I fixed that. I fixed it.
But she is kind of terrified and doesn't really realize the kind of situation she's in, especially considering that she is the quartermaster of the crew, which with the captain indisposed is no longer here. So we're going to see how that goes out. And I am absolutely terrified.
As well you should be. Before we keep going, Taylor, check your DMs, darling. You got sent much information in the meantime. Stuff for you to read. Justin, you did too. Scroll up a little bit.
I have already read and reviewed that as I was like elbows deep.
Just making sure. All right, next. My good friend, Mr. Artist John.
What's up, everybody? I'm John Riggins. I go by Artist John on TikTok. Pretty much you go by Artist John on any kind of social media platform. Artist John 1982. And I'll be playing the part of Chantry, who is the ship's basically the way you look at me is a kind of mascot in a way. I'm a storm sorcerer. So basically, they look to me for good weather. Unfortunately, I don't look out for sea creatures and street sharks.
Told you.
Sorry. It's the running gag. You can't fault me for that, Chappie.
This is going to be the shortest fucking campaign. All right.
And we're all gonna die by street sharks. Can't wait.
Last up, Mr. Tim playing Eric the Cleric, which is how we all have to refer to him now.
It is indeed Eric the Cleric, which I was not clever enough to realize was a thing when I created this character and made his name Eric. That was like, 2 sessions in that we realized, oh, Eric the Cleric, that's fucking hilarious. So that's what it is. But no, that's awesome. I want to take credit for it, but I can't. But anyway, yes, well, first of all, you can find me on social media at doorstop_idol on most socials. I don't use like any of them except for TikTok. And then you'll find some videos that you probably won't watch, but hey, they're there. So go ahead and check them out. Otherwise, in this campaign, I do play Eric the Cleric. He is a human outlander who is from not on the map that we are playing on, which makes him all the cooler because I said so. And yeah, he is the chief cook and bottle washer of the crew. And also, the moral support through food. I like that. That's what I'm going to go with. But that's me, and that's him. And yeah, he's a human, and he's awesome. That's all I got.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, last up, but hopefully not least, I am going to be your dungeon master throughout this campaign. I am just simply known as Chief. You can find me on the TikToks and on the Instagram newly at Big Chief 1387. Little backstory into us. I found all of these lovely people except for Justin on the TikToks through absolute cold messages just saying, hey, maybe that could be a thing. And it worked out great. I absolutely love all of these people. I appreciate all of them for coming along with us on this journey, this trip into madness. I appreciate all of them for the own unique stuff that they bring to the table. Selkie, when she shows up, that's always a pleasure. Taylor with her aggressive affirmations. John with his sympathetic shoulder to cry on. New Ken with his wonderful ideas. Tim with his wonderful energy. And Ken can just go fuck himself. I'm just kidding. I fucking love Ken. Me and Ken are super tight. But no, I love all of you. I appreciate all of you. So there is some stuffs to talk about. There's a campaign we're having.
Some high quality chirping right there.
Yeah. So the general background of this adventure. It's going to be a high seas pirate campaign. The land that we are in is in the world of Manifel, just like it was on our other campaign, New Beginnings. It is the year 57 of the Fourth Age. 57 years ago, there was a miraculous victory of a party of adventurers known as the Tales of Justice over the Mother Malevolent, Morgravex herself. But before the demon mother of murder, corruption, and seduction, hatred, and sin was able to destroy the world and tear existence itself to shreds, the Tales of Justice brought her down, but not before her effects could be felt around the world. On the other side of the world, in a tropical region known as Usuria, like the rest of Manifel, Usuria has been in the midst of an era of unprecedented peace and growth. But unbeknownst to them, the awakening of Morgravex stirred something deep underneath that is surely to be felt. The 10 nations of Usuria rule the continents well enough. There is peace and prosperity, trade and commerce as expected, The seas and outlying islands, on the other hand, are a different story. They are primarily ruled by an organization simply known as the Pirate Brethren. I say organization loosely, as they don't really consider themselves an organization, but somebody has to keep the code well enough so that it doesn't become just straight up anarchy. It ranges from the Pirate Brethren are consisted of everything from just some pirates that are looking to live free and don't want to bow the knee to anybody to the most vicious cutthroat pirates, but they all still answer to the code. They hold to the code. And this code is generally watched over by the ruling Council of Captains, known as the Council of Tides. The Brethren bind themselves in honor to the code, but outside of that, in opposition to the Brethren, are the Reavers and the Raiders and the Bandits, who really only swear allegiance to themselves. So that's the world that we're in. But we are starting at level 3, which means some stuff happened before this. And for that recap, I'm going to go over to more Drunken Blade, who has something totally prepared for this.
Well, I don't have anything prepared. Simply put, look, starting this adventure off and starting this new campaign with everybody, for me, and I know because we've all talked about this, this is super exciting for us. And we're hoping to make it exciting for you all out there in TV land. And one of the best things that's actually come about, not only just the friendships, but some of the mechanics and stuff that we're doing in here, we also have a role play chat that we utilize in our downtime, and it actually helped to solidify some bonds, work out some friendships, relations, and things like that prior to the game, so that we could bring you all a better, well thought process and understanding of who we are, hopefully, as you get to experience this adventure with us. We always want you to, and we encourage you to leave comments, questions, and we'll get to them as quickly as possible. There'll probably only be a few with the first few videos, but we will get to them and we'll answer your questions to the best of our abilities. Or you can always direct message me or Brian on Instagram, and we'll answer your questions as well. Going forward with that, we are a group of individuals who came together approximately 3 years ago, sailing under the flag of Captain Kainun Salshun. And some of these names, I'm going to be honest with you, I do have a hard time with, so bear with me. Originally, and what we had kind of glanced over or glazed over or just gone by really quick was there was, not played out, but there was a mutiny of sorts at a point in time where we had to get a new crew by an individual named Jevon, and we kind of put him to side. Maybe he'll come back up. But as we sailed out of our initial port, we quickly realized that even though we've been together for 3 years, we failed to stock any food or provisions. And within that, I kind of decided that some people may or may not need legs, or maybe we could make them all peg legs if we needed to eat. But lo and behold, Eric was good enough at what he did to get us sustained, at least reaching our first adventure. In our first adventure, we were just basically freeing a town of a local gang of ruffians known as the... Don't have my glasses on. Known as the Blood Reavers, which Brian had already mentioned once before. And we managed to do that. We managed to go clear out a bunch of stuff, do some really cool stuff, go up with the aid of Morella and get, we had a little map, got to the top of this area, cleared it all out, got all kinds of gold and all kinds of shit. Came back down, reprovisioned our boat, and lo and behold, as we were out to sea a day or so, unfortunately, these guys decided they were going to mess around with a large egg-shaped gem that may or may not have contained the, I don't know, the effigy of a evil pirate.
Soul. Spirit.
I'm not really going to mention the other two individuals that came along with us prior to on the island who decided to not stick around. One of them
Run off after starting the apocalypse.
One of them,
even though it was all their fault. All their fault.
And reaching into, just like Pirates of the Caribbean, with this small chest and a heart beating in it, released all kinds of hell, which affected me, my character, Morel Destore, to an extent in which I'm not quite sure of yet. I have to have a talk with Morella. I think that just for canon's sake, Morella and I kind of look up to Morella in a way, to be honest with you. I like Morella's character, and I feel like I'm her big brother, but like her big brother that pokes at her a lot, and kind of gives her a hard time about everything, but it's with good intent.
The thing is, Morella actually looks up to Morel in a certain way because she does understand he can be a bit of an asshole, but as to how he approaches things, but she sees the lessons behind it and she acknowledges them. And honestly, I kind of like the little bit of like sunshine and rainbows conflict here. It's freaking awesome, and I dig it.
Yeah. And I hope we'll develop that. And I know that I personally, my character is supposed to be kind of like just a mellow, kind of a soul, nice guy. But unfortunately, a couple characters that came on board with us decided that they were going to test my abilities to maintain composure. And I rolled a natural 1. Let's just make it easy. So aboard this ship, inside the ship, as everybody was kind of looking at all their gold and jewels and everything, and this soul came out and started to talk to me. I thought that he wanted to talk to me, but lo and behold, Captain decided, no, this is a really, really bad thing, guys. So Captain Kynan basically took control of what was going on. By the time we got to the top of the ship, seas were rolling 25 feet, and there was a large, we're going to call it the street shark. It's been remodeled.
It's a fucking Leviathan, God damn it.
That attacked the ship, and luckily enough, sadly, but luckily enough, Captain Kynan, it seems that he had the power to keep this at bay, at least so that we could make it somewhat safely into boats and out into 25, 30-foot storm weather that we had never experienced before. We saw the ship go down with Captain on it. We basically lost everything, all the gold we had, all the food, all the animals that we brought on board, everything that we had and we spent all of our hard-earned paychecks on disappeared. Floating in the ocean again in these massive turbulent waves and a current that had taken us in the middle of the night. Luckily enough, Morella had a vision, or we all had a vision of sorts, that the captain kind of came back and gave us a big, warm, juicy hug. And we find ourselves today, session 1, on a lonely beach, on a small strip in a narrow island, waves lapping at our feet, gasping for breath, and looking for survivors. To start this off, where's my fucking crab? Has anybody seen Krabby?
So,
where's Krabby at?
Jump right into it. You guys are each right now completely on your own, with the exception of Gale and Morella, who are arm in arm as they ever are. But you start shouting for your crab morel, and then you get a sharp pinch under, right under the chin, as you realize he is still latched on, clinging, looking as nervous as a crab can. But he is there.
Yes. That's all I care about. We can end the
All
night.
right. To move on to the other ones, Ellie, you come to the sun warming your skin and your feet being lapped by the contradicting cool of the waves. Having been thrown from the lifeboat, being just completely dazed and lost in everything that happened. Unlike the other ones, you had a significant other on the boat. Your man, who brought you on the boat and has been pretty much your soulmate for the last 3 years, the love of your life, and he is nowhere to be seen. But as you sit up and you kind of get your bearings and you look and you see this really picturesque tropical beach that you're on, just the perfect turquoise water, everything just looks absolutely perfect. Like you would love to be here with him, but he just isn't around. And suddenly your feet feel something that is not the water, as you feel cold steel beneath your feet. And as you look down, you see a very specific sword that you know from what your man told you will always go to the closest wave song around. And it is currently sitting right by your feet. How does Ellie respond to this?
She's going to grab the sword and just sort of stare at it for a little bit. Sort of look around and see what everyone else is doing for a second, but just very solemnly hold it to her. Let herself cry one single tear, and then stand up and dust herself off.
Okay. Mr. Chantry. You come to
sand in my beak.
Yes. I will say you come to face first down in the sand, and you feel a very sharp pain in your chest, but it's not an internal thing. You're not having a heart attack, but you notice that you are laying on a very oddly shaped stone that is just jamming directly into your chest.
Take it, look at it.
And it definitely seems cut with purpose. I'll say it that way. And you'll notice that unlike any other stone that you have seen, this one has like a rainbow luster to it. Like as you shine, like you see the reds and greens and yellows and purples and everything. And it just is the most magnificent stone.
Oh, how wonderfully prideful. It's a good month for it.
All right. So you'd pick it up and take it with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. Not going to do me much good here. Oh, does it, hold on a second. Excuse me. Allow me a moment to look at my features and traits and see if I have the ability to... I do have the Arcana skill.
Okay.
Roll my spells real quick. I don't have any spells that
I sent you a pretty picture of what they look like.
Oh, it is pretty. I don't have any spells that allow me to sense magic or anything of that nature, but I do have Arcana. Can I tell if this thing is maybe magically infused or anything of that nature?
Go ahead and roll Arcana for me.
Ooh, I need dice.
Because you're going to get something, but your roll will just determine how much you're going to get.
Oh, ominous. That would be a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Okay, so with a 9, you being a sorcerer, you are typically very in tune with the currents of the weave, as they say, the currents of magic in this world. And as you hold this stone, it seems to kind of vibrate almost with that energy.
Okay.
Like not a physical vibration, but
Like a thrum
like this
or a
thing.
hum.
Yes, this thing is humming with magical energy.
Okay, then. Pocket that. I'll tell Chappies about it later. Look up. And who do I see first?
So you, after brushing the sand out of your feathers, you think that you see somebody off in the distance, but you're not 100% sure who it is, but you do see somebody off in the distance.
I'll wave to them and I'm like, ahoy, Chappie! Ahoy! And I'll start running towards them like, you survived! Whoever you are, help!
And who you see is a familiar blue-winged tiefling who
it's Gale.
is no, not Gale, the tiefling, not the Genasi fellow.
Oh, Ubrio.
The
I thought Gale was-
tiefling
Yeah.
who is currently dusting himself off after similarly being buried like headfirst in the sand as he got thrown up on this shore.
Ahoy, Chappie!
Uh,
Are you well? Are you all right?
I'm trying to get bearings. It's Sandy here. Chantry, that you?
Tis
You
I.
over there?
Tis I,
Ah.
Chappie.
That's good. That's good. Let's get dusted off. All right, quick check. Got 10. Check the bottom. Got 10. 1. Flex the wings. 2. Okay.
Yeah, the wings still kind of smart still a little bit, but it's getting better.
This feels pretty good. I don't know. Maybe
Chentry,
we'll try it sometime.
you do notice that his horns, which are usually very well taken care of, very symmetrical, one of them does appear to be quite cracked. It's still attached,
Oh,
but it's definitely cracked.
stay still a second, though, Chappie.
That-
You've got a cracked horn.
that
Will my
smarts me a
mending
little.
spell fix that? It should.
Mm-mm.
No.
Because a horn is organic. So, but you
Wait,
could
I could
wrap it up.
maybe cure a wound or something.
No, don't have that, my friend. I was hoping that maybe that would help. Oh. Nothing to help at that point.
I mean, I've got to cure wounds. I could try. Since it's, can you see it real good?
All right, Chappie, I'll hold it in place for you. Here, put your hand there.
All right, yeah.
There, yes. Now
Try and line
hold
it up.
tight.
Good. All right, let's see if I can cure the wounds. How'd it go? Is it okay?
I will say yes, it does seem to be, at
nice
least on the
little-
surface, it seems to be good.
I look at it, I was like,
It's got a little line on it now, huh? I feel
don't
it.
know, Chappie. I think we're going to have to amputate.
No, we don't amputate nothing unless it's getting gangrenous.
No. It's leaking pus. I would get rid of it.
Oh.
No, I'm totally
I'll give
joking.
it a couple more days. Maybe after I get a rest or something, it'll feel better.
I'm joking with you, Chappie. Don't worry.
Oh, hell, okay.
Just
Oh,
so we
Good to
survived
see you,
you.
though.
See
So-
you, chap.
Glad you survived.
Do you guys start looking for other
Oh yeah, we're looking around.
survivors?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
we're looking for the
I will
survivors.
say, as you turn to look, Chentry,
yes.
your foot strikes something incredibly hard
Ow!
and
What the hell
metallic.
is that?
Ooh,
Start.
I regain all my hit points, mister.
Yes, and as you brush it off, you see this metallic form of what looks to be a dog of some sort,
The bloody hell!
and you notice that immediately, dead center of the chest, there is a very unique shape.
Oh. Ubriel, look at this. I'm going to start dusting it off and digging it out.
Mr. DM, have I held on to my bag?
Give me a D100 roll.
What do you make of it, Ubriel?
Good question. I mean, it looks like a chest to me. Oof. That's a 2.
A 2? You did manage to keep it. There was only one number that you would have lost it on, and you were one above it. So you do have your bag.
That's good. Bag of holding. Huzzah.
Okay.
Let's hold on for a second. I got some thieves' tools. Pull those out.
No, Chappie. It's not a chest. It's a robotic dog of some sort.
Dog.
It's a mechanical dog. Look, I start dusting it off. You can see the ears and everything.
Oh yeah.
And as he's dusting it, you do see like the ear articulating like as he moves it, so you can tell.
Hey,
like,
look. That's a pretty nice little construct there. That's pretty well put together. Hold on, let me take a look at it. And I start like using my thieves' tools to kind of scrape some of the dirt off of it and stuff.
And as
you
he
said
does,
that there was the shape in the middle of it. Does it look like the rock I found?
It looks identical to the rock you found.
Oh,
Ooh.
take it, look at it, like, I found this on the beach.
Huh.
I wonder. And
There are
like,
any holes missing
ooh, this is interesting. Let's see what it does.
So you put it in the slot?
Yeah, I put it in there.
Okay,
That's
so
a pretty
at
good idea.
first, nothing seems to happen.
Oh.
And then you start to hear a whirring and a ticking.
Good construct.
And all of a sudden, there's this pulse of arcane energy that comes out. And Chantry, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, no.
That smells tasty. Nothing like.
That goes to a 21 for me.
A 21.
Yeah.
So, with a 21,
Like a spark of creation.
Ubriel,
Mm.
Chantry disappears.
Ah!
What?
All right, we gotta detect the magic.
Chantry,
Identify
the world
dog.
suddenly seems very different to you.
Huh.
Everything seems distinctly clearer. You feel like the warmth of the sun and the sand, that's kind of gone. You feel stiff. You feel like it's hard to move. You feel like you have a couple extra appendages. You feel like you are not alone wherever it is that you are.
Huh. Where am I exactly?
It's hard to tell because you are there on the beach. You see Ubriel, but you just feel like you are not yourself.
Chappie, what happened?
Ubriel, you are seeing a mechanical dog speaking to you.
Huh. That's a cool trick.
Hop, bop, 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 bop.
What are you talking about? What cool trick?
Can I understand what he's saying?
Oh, he sounds just like himself.
Chappie, you in there?
What do you mean in there, Chappie? I'm right bloody here.
Oh, yeah, you're in the dog construct.
I was gonna say, you notice as he like taps, you feel him touching you, but it goes right in tune with the ting, ting, ting of like.
I think you got like soul trapped in there or something. I don't know. Something
Chappie,
weird.
I don't like this.
I might have to get you out of there. I don't know how though. It's gonna be
This is
kind of hard.
weird. Like I think I've been more aware than anything else I've ever seen before.
How's it feel? It feels good to be stuck in a robot. Maybe.
It's
I don't know.
It's odd.
It's gonna be a fun. We gotta find people.
Okay.
All right.
The
maybe
the freaking Full Metal Alchemist gifts. Good job, guys.
Awesome.
Instead of
oh, there you go.
Oh my god!
Well,
is that our dog?
That is the dog.
that is the dog.
That's a cool dog.
Wait, so is Chantry no longer in the dog?
Chantry is in the dog.
Chantry is in the dog.
In the dog.
Good point.
Maybe you'll come out if I pull the stone out, because you went in when the stone went in.
Okay.
That is so crazy.
I'm gonna give an Arcana roll on that to see if that's a good idea.
Oh, that is cool.
Go for it.
Bananas.
All right,
We are starting off hot this campaign.
Yeah, there we go. Hold on.
What'd you get?
Hold on. I'm looking.
Give me a number.
I rolled a 21.
21.
16 plus 5.
With a 21, it seems like it might work. This is magic beyond anything you've seen.
This reminds me of some gnomish stuff I saw one time. I don't know. I mean, I could do some detecting the magic or identifying you or something like that, but that's about all I got.
What do I
Do you wanna
bloody
stay-
have this, Chappie?
Do you want to try and get out, or do you want to stay in there for a little bit?
I don't know, Chappie. The thing is, it's like, Chappie, there's someone here with us.
Oh, you got a friend in there?
I think so. I can feel it in the back of my head.
Can they come out for a little bit, or you just there by yourself?
I'm running out of energy.
Are you sure that's a wise thing to do? I'm in control right now.
You might not be able to get back. Well, all right. Well, hold on for a second. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look. All right, can I get another Arcana roll to try and see if I can Jimmy the
I will give you an investigation roll on that.
investigation roll to see if I can figure it out? All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
To see if
I can figure out how to.
Yeah.
That's a 17.
17? It absolutely looks like you could get something in there and pry the gem out if you were so inclined to do so.
Okay. Yeah, we'll give it a try and see what we can do.
Okay.
Do I have to?
Give me a
do stool roll or?
Yeah, sure.
Hold on. Proficiencies. I mean, I got all kinds of tools that I'm proficient with, but plus 2. That's just a D20 plus 2.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that was a 6.
A 6.
Not the best.
Okay, so as you try to jimmy this gem out, you get your thieves tool in there a little bit, and you think it's about to pop out, and you get the briefest of insights, I suppose, as you almost see every element of magic. You see fire, you see cold, you see poison, all of it kind of swirling together, and something shoots out and sparks you for 2 damage. And it feels, because of your being in tune with the arcane, that felt like a warning.
Uh-oh. I'm not going to try that again because it seems like you've got some internal defense mechanisms or something going on in there. The gnomes warned me about this stuff. We got to be careful. We might have to take you to a gnomish battlesmith or something to figure this out, because this isn't my area of expertise.
Brian, when that happens, does anything happen internally with me?
Yes, it does. As he does that, you hear a voice that sounds very humanoid, but definitely not your own.
Right.
That just says, "Leave it." Right before that little spark shoots out.
Oh, the voice didn't like it. Meanwhile, at Gnome Depot.
And Gnome Depot, we're bringing Gnome Depot to this campaign.
Whatever's
Gnome
in here with
Depot's
me.
everywhere. It's a chain.
It's a chain. But yes, you do hear that just leave it. And the voice sounds tired, almost like somebody just waking up.
Ooh, I'll just think to myself, like, okay, who's there? Hello.
You hear nothing further than that. Just
okay. Jeppy, this is a strange situation we find ourselves in. Oh, bloody hell! I just realized something. Oh no! Give me some room, Chappie. Give me some room. I get to my many feet.
I was gonna say, you unsteadily kind of stand up on 4 legs now.
I give him space.
Go out, like, kind of aim out to the ocean. Ray of Frost.
So initially, it feels like something is kind of fighting you, but everything does kind of like line up, almost like your body is catching on to what you're trying to do. Okay. And from pretty much straight from that jewel right in the chest shoots out the ray of frost, and you see a little chunk of the water just kind of frost over quick. It doesn't quite freeze up completely because it's salt water, but
okay.
And I will say that felt like the most pure casting you have ever done through that jewel.
Oh, okay then. I'll cast Mage Armor on myself.
And sure enough, you feel the familiar covering of the Mage Armor.
Oh.
And every time he does one of these, Ubriel, you do see that stone lighting up.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to take a break from you guys.
Okay.
And we're going to go further down the beach to 2 close friends that are currently laying arm in arm, just stirring. As Gale and Morella, you feel the warmth of the sun. You feel like it was just a moment ago that you heard that familiar voice saying what it said. And you guys wake up to seeing each other. Like I said, you guys still laying hand in hand. I need both of you to give me a D100 real quick.
A D100?
A what?
Roll your D100.
Okay.
16.
Also a 16.
Oh, shit. All right, so you guys both do still have your stuff in its entirety.
High five!
With twin rolls right off the jump.
As soon as we wake up, I give Morella a hug.
Sense the besties.
Okay, so you're hugging Morella right away?
Yeah.
Morella doesn't like cough or anything. She can breathe underwater, but she kind of feels Gale just give her a hug, and she doesn't say anything. She just kind of still has like this very serious look on her face as she wraps her arms around Gale and just kind of lets out a bit of a sigh, and she goes, "That was the biggest street shark I have ever seen."
It's a huge street shark. A really big one.
Each of you take 1 point of psychic damage.
Oh my god. You know what? Fine. Totally worth it. Totally fucking worth it.
The bit is worth it.
The bit is definitely worth it.
We'll see.
I mean, at least it wasn't an extreme dinosaur.
Clever girl.
Getting there. Anyway.
But yeah. Sorry, continue.
It's everything's gonna be okay, Morella. Everything's gonna be okay, right?
You saw the same thing I did, didn't you?
Yeah, but it'll all work out, right?
I will say it may take some time to get back to the way things were, but things may be okay at some points. But right now, there is a lot that we need to do. And Marilla is trying her best to kind of keep herself together in this moment because she, like, Gail's like just adorable little boy blue spirit is like, she doesn't want to crush it. And Marilla is having to kind of process the fact that they're probably not going to see their captain again. And she slowly sits up and she looks at Gail, takes a deep breath, and she goes, well, right now, I think we can't even really think about that. We need to find our crew, see who survived whatever chaos this all is, and make sure everybody is okay, or at least who all is left, I believe. And she's going to slowly kind of stand up, brush herself off, and offer her hand to Gail to help him back on his feet.
I will take the hand, get up in a very dramatic fashion as the monk, like, dancer, doctor person that I am.
Wow. Playing that up big. Okay. Once you're up, both of you guys give me perception rolls, please.
Ooh, I can.
As you check out the area around you.
Perception. Ooh, 17, 18, 19. That'll be a dirty working girl 20.
Working girl 20. And a 1. Gail doesn't notice shit. Gail is like looking for other people like up in the sky. Like,
I'm back, guys.
He's like, what's up? Here we go.
Honestly, this is very
Morella,
fitting for the situation right now. What's up?
as you're looking around, before you notice your winged tiefling friend off in the distance apparently talking to something that looks like a dog.
Okay.
In the water, you see a flash of color that resembles the captain's coat.
Morella,
very
seeing
unique maroon kind of purplish color.
Yeah. Seeing the familiar sight, she immediately reaches out because again, she also collects just a bunch of cloth fabric that is washed up on shore or scavenged. That's how she makes her costumes and her disguises. So she immediately just instinctually goes for it. But not only that, it's the familiar flash of color in the water, reminding her of her captain. She goes to grab for it.
Okay. So you do pick up the coat, which is empty, but you notice that right across the chest area, because he always wore it closed, you notice these very clean, very precise cuts, and that it is stained with presumably his blood.
She will look at the jacket, kind of keeping her back to Gale, as Gale's just la la la. I'm considering like a nat one. He's probably not paying much attention.
He is not.
Seeing the jacket, she's going to wring it out as best she can, and she's going to gently fold it and put it in her pouch with her other fabric pieces and patchwork that she uses for her sewing stuff. And she's going to kind of keep that from Gale until she's either able to fix it or like at least try to get the blood out of it. But right now is not the time to do so.
Okay. So I'm assuming you guys would then make your way over to Ubriel and The
yeah,
dog?
yeah.
Okay.
Morella immediately raises a hand. Ubria, is that you? And she is gonna start making her way. She goes, "Gal, come on, we need to go."
But there's
And
a seagull right there that was really cool looking.
Gal, right now, unless you want to eat the seagull or kill it right now, and we can eat it
I
later.
will say,
But
just because he rolled in that one, as he says that, Morella, you hear a distinctive splat as Gale gets just something right on his forehead.
oh dear. And Marilla immediately walks over, pulls out a silk, dark green blue handkerchief, and just starts wiping it. Because I swear to God, like it was hard enough for Captain to keep you clean as it is, and now you're just Jesus Christ. Don't let bad shit on you, Gal.
Net ones are
Pay for
fun.
attention.
I don't think I've
Good
ever
luck.
gotten shit on before.
He should get inspiration for that. It's good luck.
It's good luck. I think
I-
all of
I-
you start with inspiration, though, so
Yeah, Marilla's
You
still out
should.
there, but she's gonna
All right.
wipe the bird poop off of Gale.
okay.
Store her handkerchief.
As you are
and-
cleaning the shit off of Gale,
God damn it.
Eric the cleric, roll a D100 for me, please.
I don't wanna, but I will.
There's only one number that screws you, so
That's gonna be a 6.
6. That is not the one number. You do still have all your shit. So I will say you open your eyes and you freak out because the world is completely black. There is nothing around you at all. But you quickly realize your head is currently completely in your cauldron.
Nice. So I'm gonna pull my head out of the cooking pot and just kind of look around real quick. If Eric had a copper piece for every time his boat was destroyed, his crew was killed, and he was marooned, he would have 2 coppers, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
By the same creature.
So yeah, he's gonna just sit up and kind of like assess the immediate situation. He still has armor, which is good, but you know his coat that was over top of it is all torn and battered. I would assume. Somehow he has his spear and his shield though, so you know that's a start. Still has his holy symbol.
I will say you do see a curmudgeon looking roguish fellow that you're familiar with, not that far from you, very happy with the fact that he has a crab still.
Eric, praise be. And he's gonna just make a beeline for Morel.
And even though she didn't ask Morella, you do still have your squishy little buddy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Marilla's concerned about a lot more things right now aside from Little Squish Guy. I love Little Squish Guy, but I'm pretty sure if he can't make it on his own at this point, he's not going to last this campaign. So he better fucking buckle down and get with the fucking program or take to the tides, bitch.
Did you read what he is? That's a question for later. Moving on.
There.
As Taylor goes to do so. Okay, Morel. You have a Eric the cleric walking towards you.
I'm gonna walk towards him. When he gets about 20 feet from me, I'll look down at Krabby and give him a nod. And Krabby's going to long jump 20 feet and attach himself to Eric.
Okay, so out of nowhere, you see this blue and purple kind of metallic shining crab just launch himself directly. Are you sending him at his face, like face hugger style?
No, just land on him.
Oh, okay. So this crab just lands on you.
I know we had talked about not making friends with food, but at this point, I'm happy to see him. I'm even happier to see you. Somehow we survived this, and only by the grace of Nora Luna.
Well, it this could have been worse. It could have been better. It could have been what it is, but it is the start of a new day. Let's sweep everything under the rug and continue on. Do you see anybody else?
Oh, I just pulled my head out of my cooking pot, but I saw you. Hopefully, the others also made it. I know the others also made it. We just need to find them.
Is this shoreline scattered with debris, bodies, anything?
Well, as you look up and down, I will not make you roll the perception. As you look kind of to your left, as you're facing the tree line away from the ocean, as you look to your left, off in the distance, you do see your bluish green skinned companion, your druid companion, kind of sitting there having just a quiet moment before she kind of like wipes her cheek and stands up, and she does pick up a sword that you have seen before. And you look to your right, and you do see, three of your companions and a metal something.
Eric, if you can retrieve Ellie, please, that would be quite nice. But I think I need to go check out the metal companion. Take Krabby with you in case anything happens. Let Krabby know, please.
You got it. Me and Krabby, we will go make sure Ellie is fine.
Morel, you get, just because this thing can't talk to you as much, but you get a feeling of worry as he sees you turning to walk away. Like, and Eric, you feel like the little like shark crab things like kind of like ticking on your armor as he's like nervous, like kind of like a dog with separation anxiety.
Then before I step a couple of feet, I'll reach out my hand and he'll long jump 20 feet into my palm, and I'll put him on my shoulder and kind of rub him a little bit. Stay
and
here.
You feel relief and contentment.
You at some point in time you'll have to let us just say have to be able to go on your own. It'll be okay. I won't be leaving you. You jumped very, very far. In case something bad happens, you could jump straight up 10 feet and get yourself onto a tree or a limb, or scatter. Just keep in mind, I'll be around, and just hide under my lapel for now, and we'll be okay. And let's go check out this metal dog. I feel that I have somehow known him before, so let's go take a look. So I'm going to make kind of a hastily walk towards the dog. The metal dog.
And before we get there, let's go to the cleric and the druid as Eric approaches Ellie.
So Eric's, going to make his way at a decent pace down the beach. Call out before he gets close. Hail, friend. I am glad to see you're with us.
Me too. And she'll sort of give him a really warm hug. Is everyone else all right?
I believe so. Morel definitely is. He just went the other way. But I know the rest are fine. I feel it. I believe it.
Well, I trust your judgment. And you're okay too? And she'll sort of like give him like a once over.
Oh, I assure you, this isn't the first time for me. I'm fine, but I appreciate the concern. We need to find our companions, though.
Well, then let's walk. Let's go.
And so they will walk.
All right. So you guys do walk back to the rest of your compatriots who are now all just kind of standing around this metal dog.
Ubriel, did you make this?
No, this isn't one of mine. So Chantry was here, and then he found a, I don't know, some kind of, you see the big gem in the chest? He found it, and he clicked it into place, and then all of a sudden there was like an arcane implosion, and he got sucked into the dog.
Morella's gonna kind of kneel down in front of the dog. She kind of tilts her head. She goes, "Chantry, is that you?"
Oh, Buck Wolf, yes.
Can I understand Chantry?
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely, Chantry.
all of you understand him perfectly. He sounds exactly like Chantry. It is just instead of a shorter Kenku, you are seeing this Great Dane-sized dog.
Are you feeling all right? I like you don't feel any discomfort now, do you?
Well, to be perfectly frank, well, it's a little strange. I don't think I've ever felt more aware of my surroundings than I ever have in my entire life. I feel more connected, more awoke, I suppose. But he kind of pads in close to Morella and cocks his head to the side like this, like, there's another person in here with me.
I'm uncomfortable.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's a bloody person in here with me. And he didn't like that Ubriel was messing with the gem. No, sir, he didn't.
So the two Chantry, what happened to your body?
Well, it was like Ubriel said. We found this gem, and I found that it fit the perfect little socket there. I didn't think it was going to suck me into the dog.
So it seems to be all this, and she's going to just kind of gently tap on the edge of the gem. She's not going to touch the gem, just kind of the carapace holding the gem.
Bark, bark, woof. He doesn't like it.
I'm so sorry, Chantry.
Yeah, it's got some kind of like defense mechanism. I tried to use one of these, and I hold up my thieves' tools, and I tried to pry it in there, and I got shocked. Hurt. It hurt. It wasn't good.
I still have access to my magic, at least. Well, some of it.
Well,
yeah, he did a pretty good ray of frost over there. It's nice.
I guess as long as you are not in any pain of any sorts right now, Ubria, I will. She's going to kind of take a deep breath. I will apply the task of making sure that Chantry, see if you can figure out if you can reverse these effects, or if we cannot do that, maybe it's just some way to make things more efficient for Chantry in his new forms that he has. Considering
Look,
you are very.
Don't worry about me. Let's do what we should do first. Let's find our missing pet compatriots, and of course, let's find shelter for everybody.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. That's absolutely what we have to do right now.
Don't worry about me. We'll figure this out in time.
Okay. Head count. Who volunteer?
Gale is gonna let the intrusive thoughts win and boop Chantry on the nose. Go. Boop.
See a little middle tongue kind of come out and go.
I didn't think it would work.
Don't do that again,
I'm
Chappie.
so excited right
now. Well, heads count. Who volunteer? Sound off.
Justin?
Yeah.
You take 4 points of force damage.
But for what?
Because you booped the snoot again. And Chantry, you did not do that.
What the bloody hell? Chappie, are you all right?
Owie.
Listen, I don't know who the hell you think you are, but that's my friend, and if you hurt him, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll throw this body into the sea.
Forest.
Okay, well, considering
No, I said the sea, not the forest.
Chantry, maybe you can try and figure out exactly who this other person is in your body that you are sharing with them right now. Because the last thing we need is for more people to accidentally get hurt for trying to give you.
Oh, believe me, I'm giving him a bloody earful if he even has ears. A sensible?
All right. So we have Ellie, we have Umbriel, we have Ubriel, sorry. We have Eric Secleric, Gail, Morel, Chantry, and myself. Morella will kind of take a moment and kind of realizing the position she's in, she's going to slowly pull out the jacket that she had found earlier. That is the captain's, and she will unfold it. And she is going to present the gash and slash across it, as well as the blood stains. I originally was not going to say anything.
That doesn't look good.
I know, and I and myself and Sgal, we saw a vision before we found ourselves on the shores. And I would not say that he is gone, but what we would call or consider a flesh prison is no longer here.
Ubriel reaches out arms around both Morella, and Gale, and kind of wraps his like wings around them too a little bit, like all the way around. It's like, hey, listen, I know what it's like to lose like close people, and I'm sorry that he's gone. I mean, I know he's not gone, but like, it's just that's hard. I'm sorry.
Morella's eyes just kind of welled up with tears, and once he puts her down, she takes out just a small knife, and she is going to take one of the tailcoats of the jacket, and she is going to cut a square out of it and start cutting it into strips of cloth. She's first going to go over to Chantry, the Robo-Doggo, and she's going to gently tie the strip of cloth around his neck, kind of like a collar. And she is then going to cut each strip and hand it to every single one of the crew members. And she's going to take her own, and she is going to tie it around her neck in a small little rose shape off to the side to accent it. And she will then fold up the rest of it and put it back in her pack. And she goes, well, we know that he is still here, so we will always make sure we carry a part of him with us. We can.
Gabriel puts his around his like the top of his like shoulder, around his bicep.
Ellie would tie her hair up into a ponytail, a nice little bow.
Chantry whimpers.
As soon as I hear Chantry whimper, I'm gonna place my hands lovingly on his head. Kind of give him a little pat.
He nuzzles up next to you.
It will be okay, Nova.
No.
Who's Nova?
That's a name that I've picked for you while you were in this form.
Oh.
I think it's...
I don't know that I'm going to be answering to that, Chappie.
Well, hopefully we can get you out of here on the way. But standing here on is this an island we're on?
Well, you guys don't know.
Well, fuck it. I'm gonna start walking counterclockwise, whatever that is.
I will say this though, Chappie, before you start wandering off, the voice inside with me did say to head into the forest.
Are we sure that the voice in your head can be trusted, or I mean no offense. It's just you do not know this new individual inside this body. Have they been here for a very very long time?
They're very quiet, like they just woke up.
Interesting.
Besides, we head inland to find shelter, food, things of that nature.
Well,
Water?
first thing we need to make sure is that we have to find the water source. Because if we do not have water, we are not going to survive more than 3 days on this island.
I can actually create water.
Oh, I actually can create water too. I keep forgetting I'm a fucking water genasi. God damn it.
And I can actually drink. And I can actually drink salt water, so that would be just fine.
But still, we don't want to have to fucking waste spell slots if we can help it. So let's find resources, bitches.
What you guys are seeing, without needing to roll, you guys further down the beach a ways, you do see some kind of a structure that does seem vaguely like it is shaped like some kind of a cabin, hut, something. But you do also see a path in the woods. So, which way do you guys go?
Also, I will say I am ritually casting Detect Magic right now, so I don't have to use the spell slot.
So here's the thing. As you set that off the first time, you get completely disoriented as the amount of magic that is going off. It is like, because I picture it like something kind of glows when you see magic, right? Like that it's around.
Yeah.
This whole fucking island seems to be like this bright golden just field in front of you.
Question.
Yeah.
Now I know it's probably extremely powerful. I will take the damage if I need to do so. Because I will say if it's too intense, Morella will probably drop the spell, but she will take at least 5 seconds to try and see if there is a concentrated source of which this is coming from.
So because Detect Magic helps you determine like the school of magic, right? You, for the first time since using this, are getting every single school of magic just rushing into your head. Like it is and I will say, without needing to roll anything, just with all the magic that you felt, this is the purest form of magic you have ever felt.
Can I roll a history check to see if there's any stories that Morella's heard of any sort of feeling of magic like this?
You cannot. There is only one of you that might have heard of something.
Okay.
But it is not you.
Okay, so Morella immediately, I'm
sorry, 2 of you. 2 of you might know.
Okay. Morella, as we're going through the forest, she's kind of very sing-songing, ritually casting Detect Magic, and as soon as you hear her sing the last note, you hear almost a gasp as she, like, this shock of magic comes over her. She grabs onto Gale's shoulder almost as her knees start to buckle, and she immediately drops the spell. Her tattoos illuminate for a solid 2 seconds before they die back down. She goes, "There's so much magic everywhere. Jesus Christ. Ugh.
Who is this?
You all right?
Jesus Christ.
So I decided to see if there's anything anything that could be unseen on this island, and after I cast Detect Magic, I suddenly just felt this overwhelming wave of. It almost seems like every single nerve in my body was on fire, and it felt like every single bit of magic and knowledge that I have ever known was just pouring into me. I've never seen something so complex. It's almost like this whole island is teeming with magical energy. I do not know what it is.
It's like the gem, Chappie, the one that's in the chest of this beast.
Upon
those
2 things getting mentioned, Ubriel, make a history check for me, please.
Yes.
Just to be honest, I'm still scanning the debris or whatever for bodies. I mean, there's 30
Okay.
people on this boat. With us.
As you start doing that,
Shoot some bodies. Let's go.
you do start noticing not bodies, but parts.
Oh.
19 plus 3 on the history check.
Okay. You'll get something.
Right.
So, Morel, upon seeing that, what do you do?
I was looking for intact bodies of sailors or sail women, sea woman,
Sea people
that were on the ship with us. The sea wolf or whatever.
Okay.
We were.
So you guys start going actually like out to the debris and trying to see if anybody is intact. Is that what's going on? Is it more than just Morel that's doing this?
I will say Morella's probably looking out as well, just because as her master, she's gonna see if she can find any other survivors.
Now I'll turn to Morella. I need you to get these individuals to safety. Make your way down to that hut or into the forest. Either way, I'll take care of the dead. That's the least of your worries. You have, well, at least 4 alive individuals and a metal dog. I would suggest that you call him Nova from now on, but that's your choice.
Morella will just kind of
I'll
give
take
like
care of the dead.
a very weak smile, and she goes, "I will simply call Chantry of what she wishes to be called, but I will be honest with you. I am, might I say, a bit unsure. I was not very much expecting having to find ourselves in such a position at such inopportune times, and I will admit I'm very much a bit scared, Morel.
What do you have to be scared about?
We almost got eaten by a giant street shark.
Well, that's good. Do you know of any street sharks that
1 point of psychic damage.
Do you know of any street sharks that walk on the sandy beaches? So don't go into the water for a while. Put on your big girl pants and let's do this. If you are able to get someplace for them to bed down for the evening, make a fire, and we'll have some time tonight to talk.
Well, how shall be the best way for me to get in contact with you whenever you are done gathering the dead? I would like to congregate everybody so we may have proper burials for everyone, or what remains of them.
Well, are you going to the shack or are you going into the woods?
If you guys are looking to wait around for a funeral, the shack would be the better way to go.
I will say, Morella, we probably all need a long rest from what we have, or a short rest of some sort. And Morella kind of needs to get her bearings, just kind of take into what all equipment we have. So Morella will kind of look at Morel. I will stay at the shack with the crew so we can pretty much recorrect ourselves before we decide to move further. Once we give our final goodbyes to those who remain, we will move our way further into the forest. I do not wish to separate the party too far away from one another, especially with how this place just seems to be teeming with magic. I do not know what kind of chaos could come of this.
Well, this is something that I can respect from you, but make your way down there, see if what you can find. Do the best investigation that you could possibly ever find. Maybe a group investigation, and figure out what's in there. And I will not be touching body parts. I'm looking for whole individuals, to be honest with you.
Well, if it comes down to it, at least if someone is wearing medallions representing their gods of which they pray, at least collect those if there's only parts of them left, so we can at least lay them to rest with the gods of which they worshipped. I will set up camp, and we will make sure we can scavenge for what we can find, fresh water, anything like that. And once that is finished, we will stay the night, and by tomorrow morning, we will make our way deeper into the forest. And on the island, we have ourselves a fresh rest, and hopefully more bearings than we did when we first washed up ashore.
Well, let's do this then.
All right. Who is joining Morel in the searching for bodies?
I will turn
Greg?
to anybody who is physically following me and tell them, please go with Morella. She is in charge now, and she wishes you all to go with her to the shack. Please investigate the shack, make camp, see what you can scout on the way. I will be there shortly.
That's right, you guys. We are going to be making camp. Once Morel has gathered those who remain, or if we can find any more survivors, we will be saying our goodbyes to our fellow comrades and our crewmates, and then we shall make our way further into the forest by morning's light. But until then, make sure this place is clear, safe, make sure there are no traps, no monsters, and let us set up a campfire and try to find some sources of fresh water and food. Keep your rations close to you. Do not leave anything out and about, because if we lose it, then we probably are not going to have it from here on out.
And as they're walking away, I'll yell over to, and look up for trees that throw rocks.
Morel always tells the scary stories about the trees that really just loves to throw the things. So look out for the trees.
All right. So without any real rolls, you guys do go to the shack. It is completely untrapped. There's nothing about it. It just looks like a seaside shack that has been abandoned forever. Like, you kind of almost wonder if anybody lived here, but there are some signs that they did. Ken, Mr. Morel, if you could roll a D20 and a D30, or a D20 and a D10 for me, and give me that total. By the way, do you want to show off any dice that you got?
The total?
Yeah.
Sure.
I got Ken dice. Everybody else, you guys will be getting dice eventually when I can get into the post office, which is currently hard to get to because of construction.
I will.
And when you guys get me your addresses, including you, Selkie.
So,
yep.
Brian had got me Brian had got me a set of dice, metal dice, and I asked for something to keep them in. So he made this cool box. But lo and behold, when I got it and I opened it up,
I gotta get new ones.
His dice, the dice that I received, were now of my new favorite species, and that the species I'm going to be playing soon, not in this game. Inside each one of these, and they're hard to see because they're small, and my camera doesn't really like to focus a lot. Let me see if I can find it. There is a tiny, small snail inside of each of them. Let me see. There's
I love it.
It's a little green snail. I think, again, it's
the camera's being difficult.
Yeah, I don't have like macro or anything, but there's a really cool little teeny tiny green snail with a brown shell on it.
So you're telling me that Brian totally snailed it. Got it.
Snailed it.
Snailed it.
He did.
I get my nephews with that every time, like, because I go to fist bump them when they leave, and every time it's just like, snailed you.
And
all right, so that D10 and the D20, sir.
Yep, got it for you.
And it came through snail mail.
Sure did.
Yes, the number 10, sir.
The number 10. All right, so through the whole thing, you are pulling out just pieces. You see some tattoos that you recognize as various crewmates that you had, but there are 10 complete bodies that you do find.
I found this.
What is that? Because that looks like something. Oh, I was gonna say that looks like something that we shouldn't be.
Well,
I first literally thought it was that squirt clam That like you know what I'm talking about.
I thought it was a dick. I got to be honest. Like
Squirt clams look like dicks. That's the thing.
So I find 10 intact people.
yes.
Yay.
Do I recognize? I mean, I know these are probably our crew, and I can probably guesstimate that this is what's left of the crew. But was there anybody here special to me? I mean, I didn't really form any great bonds with anybody except for my fellow cast.
Well, I got names for all of them if you want, but
I
the
don't
ones
fucking
that you would know above the other ones. One of them you do find a long-haired elf. That is just covered with tattoos that you recognize as Kelro Wavesong. And that was the one that Ellie was frequently seen during the downtime when they weren't working, always seen cuddled up to him. And
Oh, really?
yeah.
How far is everybody away from me?
I would say that the shack is probably a good 50, 60 feet away. So you're not like super far, but I will say, like, if you are trying to see if they're looking at you, you do see. I would say right now they are not. They are diligently following Morella's orders in setting up the camp, checking it, securing it.
So that
Setting up
particular one, knowing that there's some type of bond with Ellie.
Yeah.
I'll pull that body up more onto the sandy beach.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go one at a time to each of the other bodies.
Okay.
And as I do, I'll stand over the top of them. And I'll look into their face. It'll be needing you. In fact, it'll be needing all of you. And from there, my tattoo of that kind of twisty, kind of Celtic knottish tentacle that's in my chest will probably start to glow a little bit. We're going to send you on a grand adventure. Take care. And a little bit of a corporal form of that body will maybe manifest itself and sucked into my chest. And I'll do that to all 9 of them.
All right.
And then I'll make my way over to Ellie at some point in time.
I'm gonna say give me an insight check as you've done this before.
Insight check. Oh, that was another one of those ones where it was like 19, 1.
One?
So I think it's a total of 3.
All right. I would say with a total of 3, something doesn't feel quite like it usually does. But you've been through a lot.
I gave it a shot.
Yeah.
I tried to provide them with a better place.
Yes.
Yes.
DM, are we going to have a long rest over here, or what's our plan?
Peace. Well, that's up to Morel and what he comes back, because he seems to have left one out.
Well, Morella is going to be initiating the long rest after we have our ceremony to lay the dead to rest. So once Morel comes back over, whenever Morel approaches her, if Morel is going to go to Ellie and talk to her first, then she's going to wait till Morel actually approaches her. So
yeah, and I'm gonna approach Ellie, and whatever she's doing, I'll put my hand on her shoulder.
Oh, hi. How'd it turn out?
Well, there was 10 individuals, and I sent 9 of them on their way. But the 10th individual is, well, let's just say your mate. I thought that I should ask you first. Maybe you have something special you would like to do with the body? Do some kind of ceremony, or?
Well, let's get this camp set up first, and then I suppose it's better to know than not know. And she'll sort of like point. You'd notice her like hugging the scimitar a little bit with her hand, and then we'll just send him off to sea because that's where he would want to be. Thank you for telling me.
Hold on. I will have to talk to Morella this evening, but if there was a possible chance of you ever seeing him again, would you take it?
That depends on a lot, doesn't it?
Not to me. It does not. I'll be honest with you. These 3 years that I have known of existence in this world, I have not experienced much death in or grieving, may I say. I'm sorry if I'm not doing it quite correctly, but this is something that is very foreign to me. I rely on Morella for the softer things, possibly, but I did talk to the crew about it. But I saw him, and I didn't want to interrupt, and I thought the best thing to do was to contact you and see what you wanted to do, if there was something special. But I can offer perhaps an existence. Possibly meeting him again.
I don't think he would want that in this life.
And that's fair. That's fair. We will move on from this and make yourself busy and let's get these things done, and then we will attend to the rest of the remaining crew and your loved one. And again, I'll talk to Morella tonight about some things and we'll move on.
All right. Excuse me for a moment, and Ellie would go up to Morella. Can I trouble you for a moment?
Well, if you just need to tell me something, there is no trouble. What is it you need, Ellie?
Sort of put her hand on her heart. Calro he's gone. Songs were big for him. Maybe would you mind singing a song for him, and we can send him out to see where he should belong?
Morella's, like, her expression just kind of even breaks even more. Like, this is honestly making me really emotional. Like, but she just kind of slowly reaches her hands out to Ellie and just gently kind of places her hand on her shoulders and just goes, Ellie, I am so sorry, my dear. Absolutely. I will make sure to sing a song for your love and for everyone that we have lost. And if there is anything special that you would like to do for him before we send him off to sea, please just let me know. I will do my best to try to accommodate.
No, don't worry about that. Let's just get the camp set up, and later we'll say goodbye.
Ellie, how was this? I will have the rest of the camp set up. We will take care of it. If you would like some time alone with your love before we decide to say our goodbyes, please take all the time you need before we commence with the ceremony.
Are you sure? I don't want to...
I'm absolutely sure. This will be the last time you see him. Please cherish it while you are still able to do so. I wish I could have done the same. So please, take your time, grieve, and say goodbye, my friend.
Thank you. And she would just sort of offer her a little hug before heading down to the beach.
She will give her a big hug, and she will just pat her on the back as she sends her off, and she will inform her that she, or I don't know if you hear me, but she will inform Morel, and then at that point, she's going to check on Eric and Gabrielle and Gail, as well as Chantry, kind of make sure just if anyone's checking the perimeter. She's probably going to make sure Chantry is still comfortable in the form that he's in. Make sure Gail doesn't get shit on by more birds. She's pretty much going to make her rounds and try to make sure everybody is just status reports is pretty much. Let's go through some status reports, I guess. And what is everybody doing?
I actually would like to go to Ellie real quick. And Ellie, would you like funerary rites for sorry, what was his name again?
Kelro.
Would you like some funerary rites done for him?
That would be nice, actually. Thank you.
I can go with you and I can perform a ceremony.
So let's do it this way. Would Ellie want a moment to herself first?
Like 10 minutes tops. Because she's like, there's really not a lot of time to grieve. They got shit to do. So she's going to like put on the mask and call it good. She just needs like 10 minutes.
Okay. So let's play that through first. Let's go as all of the rest of you are setting up camp. You walk up, and did Morel like put him up kind of like respectfully, or did he just look like you just dragged him up? Like,
No, I said I dragged him up into the like maybe the drier or sandy part. There was no disrespect or ill intent in any way, shape, or form. I'm not into mutilating shit. Jack.
Okay. I meant more like, did you like put him in a like?
Yes,
typical,
I put him in a position like this.
That's what I would do.
Cross-legged on the beach, looking off into the sunset.
Saluting one more time.
No, just okay. I mean, it's I'm not very strong, so I pulled it up.
Okay, so
if I'm going to mutilate somebody, I'm going to come straight out.
I'm not asking if you're mutilating him.
I mutilated it.
All right,
necrophilia the hell out of the guy on the left.
You know what? Because I can. Damn it, he muted himself. Shit. That's fine. So you walk up and you see Kelro laying there, arms to his side. His familiar headband is kind of like keeping most of his hair, out of his face. You notice that he does have he still has his necklace on that has the charm that you gave to him, that he hasn't taken off since you gave it to him. So he's wearing that still, and that in his hand he is clutching something.
Well, I want to take his headband first and sort of use it as a bracelet.
Okay.
And then I want to see what is in his hand.
Okay. So as you pull what it is out of his hands, you recognized it as something that he would hold kind of every night before you guys went to bed, where you always just took it as him kind of singing you to sleep, but it was always these very specific songs, always in the same order. And that it is pretty much just this long string of beads that you would know, like he explained to you, that they are the wave song beads. So they are just the songs of his people, and each bead kind of represents something, another event, another song to sing. So indicating that that's what he was thinking about before whatever it is happened.
Ellie would probably cry into his hand, sort of like hold his hand in her hands and sort of like kiss the beads for a second. she is not going to mess with the necklace that she gave him. That was his. So he can keep that for the afterlife. And she's just sort of going to wash his face off, try to make him as clean as possible. And then she'll just sort of sit up and wait for the rest of them.
So as you're like wiping off his face, you get extremely emotional one way or another. As you notice that even in death, he just always has this like subtle smirk on his face, just always smiling as he was. That even as you're like brushing it off and like it is just kind of that is his resting face, just with this smug little smirk on his face almost.
Just gonna look down at his face. You're supposed to let me die first, you bastard.
I will say, once the camp is set up, Morella will gather everybody around and take them to the beach. Once it seems Ellie has made her peace and had her time with her lover, she will approach and is you ready to say goodbye?
No, but yes.
She will first turn to Gale and have him recite the religion scoodly doo.
Yes.
New religion.
I will do the religion-y thingies, you know, sprinkle the sprinkles, and do the words, and you know, all the things that you do for a funeral, which
Devotion to the ocean god.
So how is Ellie wanting to send off her love? Is she wanting to send him off to the sea? Is she wanting to burn him on a pyre?
Is there a way that we could sort of make a makeshift raft to burn
Morella
as he
would
goes?
probably use control water to like like she would even be willing to swim out to manipulate the waves and guide him out to the waves before making her way back in. And pretty much take him out to the riptides to allow the ocean to take him wherever it goes. But I will say, as they bring the body to the ocean waves, and as people can say their final goodbyes, Morella just kind of starts plucking at her lyre, and she decides to recite a small tune, and you just kind of hear her gently go about, we hear the sails in the wind, we feel the ship cut through the waves, we dance to the songs that we sing, sailing upon our wooden seed. This song of the sea reminds us we're free. We choose the sake of our names. The best treasure that we have found so far is finding home with the sea someday. And she will allow the body to take out to sea as she uses control water to allow the tides to take him.
And as he goes away, Ellie would put on his musical beads as a necklace and then just thank everybody.
So did somebody light it on fire, or did you just push him out there?
No, he's just being taken by the tides.
Yep.
Okay.
Let the
Good to
ocean.
know.
Oh God! What the fuck is?
That will absolutely never be used against us ever again. That will never come up. It's totally fine.
Bad.
Totally fine.
God, it's like a genie. You need to be careful how you fucking word shit, or else we're all fucked.
Nah, with me, never. All right.
So Eric will, of course, offer his condolences to Ellie, and then he's going to go over to Gale. And
did Gale cast ceremony?
Gale did cast ceremony.
Does that do anything for Ellie in the interim?
Not for
Because I know it does when
funerary
you get married, but
funerary rite makes it for the next 7 days. The target can't become undead by any means other than the wish spell.
that's good to know. How many days?
Listen, you son of a bitch.
You motherfucker!
Damn it!
You motherfucker! Ellie, it's okay. Morella will protect you. Ah!
Hey, somebody mentioned burning it, and I sat there like, and then you guys, I asked, did you burn it? Mm-mm.
We're people of
Okay.
the sea. We're people of the sea.
Okay, I sent both of you messages to what the songs of his people sounded like. That should be an indication of the kind of funeral that he wanted.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Totally fine. 7 days? Okay.
When I didn't have the time, because when you sent this in the middle of us playing the
I
campaign,
didn't know if you knew that song or
when
not.
did I have time?
Selkie knew it.
Song.
Anyway. So, with that, you guys do kind of settle in for a night of quiet reflection and rest as you guys kind of all take in the day with what has happened. With all of you guys having watched this funeral, and I will say, like, over the last 3 years, Kelro was, well, not as close as all of you guys. You know, he was kind of a big part of the crew. You know, he always was trying to make everybody. He was trying to make everybody laugh to the best of his ability. Sometimes his jokes were a little off color, but his head was like his heart was always in the right spot. But yeah, it's just, so losing him just kind of really stings all of you. Not as bad as Ellie, obviously, that will definitely not come back to haunt her at all in any way. But you guys do you guys get a fire going and all that, or
When it comes to set up camp, that would be fire.
Okay. Well, you guys have a shack. I don't know if that means that you're having a fire, but anyway, what is going to happen is that we are going to take a 5-minute bio break for everybody. So all of you peoples watching at home, or for those of you watching this on playback later, give us about 5 minutes. And we'll be right back to go over this emotional trauma. Everything will be fine. Justin, send us to break, sir. Right, I am unmuted. Welcome back. Here we are. All right, so the party has found themselves upon this island. They have found each other. One of them went looking for their fallen comrades, and they found them, and he did something totally not creepy whatsoever, except for one of them that he set aside because he held some emotional value to Ellie, the party's druid. And then they made camp in a seaside shack, a sea shanty, if you would. And that is where we're picking up. You guys are sitting around the fire for the evening. I would say that as you guys went through the debris, you guys did find some barrels that had some food still in it. That Eric did a pretty good job sealing. So,
Eric, are you done making the meal for the night?
Yeah, that's what I would have been doing if we did find some food, whatever was serviceable. He would have been just around the fire preparing something to eat.
there's also
Probably,
fishing is an option if somebody was going to do that.
Oh, no.
yeah. For now, as long as we have food available, he would be using it to make something. Likely just frying up whatever he found. Perhaps a nice stew.
Good for the soul.
Eric, as soon as you're done and you
Too
can
bad Kelro doesn't have one.
you can leave
What?
whenever you can leave and you're done, we need to speak for a moment, Eric. But just I've got to walk down to the rocks down here. This looks like some nice slime covered rocks, and Krabby's a little hungry, so I'm going to feed Krabby, and I'll make my way down to the shoreline. We'll just find some good algae ridden rocks and set Krabby down, and let's Krabby, go ahead and eat. You need to get bigger, Krabby. We want you to grow up and to be a big crab.
And you see him
Get swallowed by a big tuna.
Nope. Bubbling at the mouth, like he is very excited as you show him the algae covered rocks. He is just, and like you put him down, and he is immediately just going to town. Pretty much.
So I'm just gonna do that while I'm waiting for Eric to let me know that he's done making his meal and whatever conversations people need to have.
Yeah, so Eric would just put the finishing touches on what he was cooking. Look around to everyone there. Don't be shy. I do apologize, but as you can see, utensils are slim, so we're going to be eating out of the same pot. I don't think anyone's going to mind, but please help yourselves. Then he'll excuse himself and make his way down towards the rocks where Morel is.
Eric, I don't know if it was purposefully overlooked or not, but will you help me at least get some of these dried palm fronds and some other dried, and help me carry the 9 other bodies that the party left just laying on the beach this afternoon? Maybe we could put them into a pile with some debris and some drier things and light them on fire at least to get rid of the bodies so they don't smell up the place.
So you are lighting these ones on fire?
Yeah, they're just fucking husks at this point. So
okay.
Yeah,
understand.
So, yeah. I was...
Not that will have anything to do with anything that will come
of course
in further
never.
episodes.
And just in case if there's a ship out there, I'm thinking ahead. Maybe there's a ship out there. I'm just gonna light a big fucking bonfire of bodies. Maybe it'll like, hey, we're over here, SOS.
But yeah, no, Eric will just Eric will just nod. Like, I was a little concerned actually when you said you did find 10, but only a deal was made of 1. I figured there might have been a reason. But yeah, we should gather them up and at least offer some sort of respect for the rest.
And I'll be quite frank with you, they may have things in their pockets. They may have jewelry of some sort. And we are not going to touch that. Do you understand me, Eric?
Of course.
It's not something that we do. Those were they weren't my friends, but they weren't my compatriots. They were just helping on the ship. But I mean, we should have some compassion. I'm trying to learn this, and it's new to me, but we'll have some compassion for these. But I will tell you, the next bastard that we meet that I don't know, that has some fancy things on him, I'm going to take it from him anyway. So,
I will say, Morel, I am impressed. It does seem that some of the lessons that we've had are sticking, and I applaud this turn.
I don't know why people think I'm such a bad guy. I've never done this in the past. 3 years we've been together. I've never stole from any of you. You must be thinking of somebody else that resembles me.
No, of course. You have never done anything wrong. You do, however, make a habit of saying that you're unaware. But today you have shown a very clear awareness.
I'm trying to learn. The party's collective memory and their collective awareness has to be mine at some point, and I have to learn something from them. I've been cooped up on the ship for so long, and this whole thing with Ellie, and it just struck me odd that I've never grieved before.
It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to lose crew and friends, and even if you didn't really know them maybe as well as we should have, we did serve together, and the connection between our friend and the lost it's deep, and we all feel that.
Well, I recognize that. That's why I pulled him aside and let her inter him in the manner that she wished. But nevertheless, the rest of these unfortunate souls, well, unfortunate soulless, we should probably burn them.
I agree. I think they will get a send off worthy of Noraluna.
Any chance or any of you singing a pretty tune like Morella? That would be quite inviting to me. I have a flute. Maybe I could play the flute. I don't play it very well, but maybe we could come up with some boisterous harmony that summons the kittens of the deep.
I think we could come up with something. My singing voice is not quite as good as hers either, but I'm sure we can come up with something as a fitting send off.
Let's go about it. Come now, Krabby. Are you done eating? The bubbles have faded. Are you good?
And
Crab.
You get just a feeling of contentment and happiness in the moment. Like he is good.
Don't forget, Krabby, if you need a nibble and I forget to feed you and you need a nibble, just latch onto one of my ears and this living kelp here, you can snip at it all you want to take a small bite anytime you need to. It does not hurt. It needs a trim every once in a while, so have at it. You'll be my personal barber. Okay, now, let's go.
So as you guys here, so you guys are heading back. Speaking of pets, Morella, as you are sitting there looking around the camp, you kind of like just sitting there looking like, is everything good? You notice your backpack is kind of glowing. You're muted, Taylor.
So Morella's just kind of, I would say, Eric, you said you made Eric the cleric, you said you made a stew.
Yes, he would have put together a quick stew from the provisions they found in one of the unopened and the sealed casks that came to shore. So it's just in a giant makeshift pot, but everyone is welcome to it.
So Morella's probably going to find, just like kind of take a strip of leather out of her little textile bag, and she is going to just kind of use it as a bowl and just pour the soup into it and kind of eat it that way, just with her hands once it gets cool enough. She actually will use shape water to kind of freeze it slightly, just to kind of keep it cool, to cool down the water in the stew, and make sure it's not too hot as she eats it. Once she has her fill, she kind of notices the glowing from her bag, and she splashes her hands a bit as she kind of washes her hands of the soup, and she opens her bag to see what the fuck is glowing.
All right. I need you to roll a d10 for me.
Oh dear God. Okay.
Because you do see your squishy little fellow that is just...
mice baby.
Yep.
You have the mice baby. It's an 8.
Okay. So you notice he, like, doing a quick count, you're about 8 gold short.
God damn it.
Like, he is on the last one, just kind of like, it's 90% gone. And he, like, looks at you, and you notice, like, across this little mossy squish is dancing kind of this golden light, and you get struck with how your tattoos and everything glow as you sing, that this thing seems to have a similar thing where it's content, that it's just kind of a little glow ball.
Marilla just kind of looks at the lack of coin, seeing it just chew on the last one. She will take all of the gold coin and put it in a separate side pouch of whatever remains, and she will put it in a separate side pouch away from where she stores little guy. And she will also take the time to, anytime that she is walking, and I'm saying this right now, DM, she is going to be pulling plants, like plants that she knows that are deemed safe, and putting them into her bag for him, little guy, to snack on, so he doesn't feel the need to snack on her magic items, and will make sure that he is regularly fed. So yeah, gold is being separated from the small little glowy buddy, and
Okay.
Marilla is going to actively make sure that this little baby is fed greenery like the whole time.
Right on.
Okay. That's a good distinction to make.
But she will kind of let him have
I'm
the
saying
last
this
little
right
gold
now,
piece.
DM.
But she will let him have the last little gold piece, and she's like, well, seems that golds will not do us much good on these islands. Unless
Is Morella still looking any kind of sad or emotional in this moment?
She, I will say, just very neutral face. She's not trying to put on a performance. She is very much tired and exhausted. She is still sad, but the thing is that she, again, is just, she has a lot of other things on her mind. She just seems extremely distracted, and she's trying to kind of focus on any matter that comes to hand at this point right now.
So upon looking at you, this thing is sitting there with its 2 tiny little front legs just kind of up towards you. And keep in mind, this thing is like this big.
Yeah.
It's like the size of the palm of your hand.
Grendel,
Puppies.
not Grendel. Sorry,
Grendel.
Marilla. I'm sorry, I was playing Grendel yesterday. Marilla just reaches her hand down and she offers it to let little guy climb.
You remember his name? You gave him a name and then completely forgot it, didn't you?
I know.
It's Zen.
It is Zen, like a Zen garden. Yes.
There you go.
So yeah, she will pick up little Zen, and
so Zen, as you pick him up, because even after he crawls into your hand, he's still like reaching like towards your face.
Oh.
She will kind of just place him on her shoulder.
Okay. And when he does, he kind of like scrambles up your neck a little bit, and he puts his little hands, the little stumpy hands, like right on your face. and you get just filled with this emotional like contentment, like this you're getting a big emotional hug from Zen, like, but it feels like he is hugging your soul. Like he is understanding you, and he is understanding the pain in you, and he is trying his best to give you like the best friend hug.
I'm so glad little guy is using his powers for good.
Read what I sent you. I sent you things.
I know. I read through it. I'm very glad little guy is using his powers for good. She's just gonna kind of, her body just kind of relaxes for a moment, and she just kind of gently nuzzles her finger against little guy. She's gonna look around at the party. Is Morel and Eric back at this point, or are they still off on their little adventure?
Well, I will say they have done what they were looking to do, so it's up to them.
Yeah, sure. We're back. I'd say there's just a giant. You can see a giant pyre on the beach. Hopefully, it
definitely
would also
burning them.
double. It would. Definitely burning them. Hopefully, it would double as a signal to anyone who was passing by. But yeah, no, we definitely we did what we had to do. We got the bodies and we lit them ablaze respectfully.
Once everyone's just kind of settled around, Morella's gonna kind of look at everybody, try to read how everybody's feeling. She goes, if there is anything that you would like to say right now with all that has happened, what we should plan on doing in the future, please make your claims. I will be honest, I'm very new to this kind of position I have found myself in. But I wish to do my best to make sure that all of my crew is heard and understood properly. So,
on a quick note,
yeah,
John has lost internet, so whether we get him back or not, we're going to keep going. But just want to let everybody know.
He had said earlier that he's been up since 4 and he was tired. So
no, he texted me and said he lost power and internet. They are currently power is back. They're waiting on the internet. So
that happens.
We'll see.
But
and then don't forget that about an hour.
Ellie. Stuff he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, pedal to the metal. Let's keep going.
Let's go.
Yeah, but Morella will pretty much ask for any concerns or anything that any of the crew would like to say from here on out with how things are going. Obviously, things will evolve over time, but she will acknowledge the crew.
Well, I will go to Morel and hand him his medication.
And I will look at you, Gail, straight in your face the same way I fucking looked at you on the beach. If you're trying to make me roll a 1 and fucking take me to another level right now, you doing that is just that. You're inches away from a fire, my friend. I wouldn't want you to actually step in. So if you don't get your head away from me, I have an emotionally response to this, and it won't be nice. I have Krabby. Krabby is all I need.
Morel, we've talked about this. You need your
You
medication.
do hear a crab like pinching his claws right now.
You need your medication.
You can go fuck yourself, Gail.
You have anger issues.
Gail, the only time I have anger issues is with idiot shipmates who decide that they're going to try to bully people around for no reason, number 1. Number 2, insubordinate physicians who feel that they can push their fucking witch wares onto me. Like I am some sort of, I don't know, inhuman individual. I have learned something today that I feel far superior to your intellect could understand at this present moment. So, if you
Wow.
don't mind, I'm not the one who left 9 individuals lying on the beach to rot in the sun like you did. Should I continue?
This is wonderful.
Next,
For those of you watching at home, this is like normal.
What the
This is
fuck?
in character.
next,
Okay, I'm gonna chop that up to a bipolar episode. So I need you to take the medication.
Now, I will say before you get that out, roll a wisdom save.
Okay.
You know what? And he was good enough with disadvantage.
Okay. The lower of them was a 21.
Okay.
oh,
So
Smash.
you avoid a big feeling of the sads at the mean words that he said.
I'm
But
a
you
trained
also-
physician.
You
I
also
deal
do
with
get the
this.
vibes that maybe this isn't the time to push the meds.
I will say at this point, Morella will chime in. She's like, Gal, honestly, why don't we just make sure that you keep the medication for emergencies? If Morella starts losing his shit, we might just have to pin him down, and then we can force feed him the medication. But until then, until he starts showing side effects or withdrawals, then we honestly we should save our resources as best we can.
Well, I have emergency
I get to make a
medication, and I
withdrawal
pull
pill.
out a syringe. This one goes in his ass.
Please,
I
please.
put out my hand. I put out my hand like to like, you know how you put your arm around somebody and kind of pull them into you, and I whisper in Gail's ear, "Do me a favor. Drop the subject, or you shall experience something you have never experienced in your life. Have you ever had anybody misty step inside of you?"
Dude, he just threatened to penetrate you.
Like from the inside out.
I don't think I have.
hey.
The rooster is not here.
Dumb chicken. Anyway, so
Morella will turn to Ubriel and just be like,
it's so much.
Ubriel, you had something to say?
I do indeed. There was so much good sand here. I decided to make some good glass. I turn around and I
how did you make glass?
Huh?
In that short period of time?
He fired it.
Firebolt.
If he has it, yeah.
My friggin' forge.
Okay.
I got glass blowers tools everywhere too. they're my bag of holding. I got like 90 pounds of tools in my bag of holding. Why do you think I was like freaking out that I almost lost them?
Dude, you did. I
was that close.
You were that close. I will say you like look at your bag, like one of the straps on it is like super frayed, and like by like two strands is like right there.
Bending. Anyway, so now he shows you guys some kind of like hastily formed glass cups, right? And then I pull out and I turn around and I pull out the pitcher, and I'm like, tomorrow, this is gonna be really cool. I promise.
Morella will take one of the. Is he handing out the glasses to
Yeah,
everybody?
everybody can have one. That's fine.
Morella will take one of the glasses. She's going to just take in the craftsmanship, and she goes, "You did a very good job as always, Ubria.
You give me a couple hours, and I got time to that's fine. But this, he pulls up the picture again. Trust me, you're gonna like what happens with this.
Well, I am
Wow.
honestly very curious as to what you can do with a picture. So,
You'll see
surprises.
tomorrow morning.
I want to be surprised about the picture. However,
I want something good tomorrow morning out of this picture. We'll see how it goes.
I have an idea of what we can do with the glasses tonight. And Eric's gonna pat his vest. Thankfully, this is still here. And he pulls out his flask. And he pours a little bit in his glass and then tosses around to everyone to pour into theirs. You
Good
know,
man.
just a shot. It's a little bit of
This-
vodka.
This is medicine I can get into.
Oh, God, I didn't even think we could have a drink until we got off this island, if we ever did. Hopefully we will, though. But she'll just kind of take in the aroma.
I apologize. It's not the greatest, but given the situation, I think anything will do. We should just give thanks that we at least are here and can enjoy this swill.
So, Tim,
Yes.
this alcohol that you brought with you, is it something specific, or do I get a little room here?
I mean, you can say it's whatever you want. I
Okay.
imagine it to be vodka, but if you want it to be something else, please.
So, what this is it is a very special brew to you that you only bust out at special occasions. I'm going to say you have 2 flasks, one of which is filled with a very strong hard cider from
Oh
a
my
very
God.
from a very renowned brewer back in
The Macackans?
Adria.
Yeah, the Macackans.
But the other one is a very strong whiskey brewed by a famous dwarf. And it's called Drunken Blade whiskey. So you poured everybody a shot?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So,
Chantry kind of
Morella, you said that you'd
calls
take
at
in
you.
the aroma.
Yeah, she hasn't sipped
Okay.
at it or anything. She's just
So-
gonna kind of smell what it is.
When is the last time you drank 151?
I haven't been in high school since 2013.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, we can
I'm
hear
just
you, John.
being honest.
Okay, cool.
So it smells like the strongest alcohol that you have ever smelled. And it almost has this, like the smell of a right before a lightning strike in a storm kind of smell. Almost like crispy bacon. I don't know where I got that from, but that's what we're going with. Ken smells like bacon. We've decided this.
I'm sorry. Move on to another character right now. My husband is calling me. I'll be right back.
All right. So all of you guys take this shot. Does anybody make a toast with it? Does Eric make a toast with it?
You'll see
Yeah.
Chantry kind of paw at Eric, and he'll be like, "Hey, Chappie, drink an extra one for me. Can't taste it."
You know what? I appreciate the enthusiasm, and so Eric will put a little double in his.
Beautiful. I love this. So is a toast made, or is it just toss it down the hatch?
We have our life, and that's good enough for now. And that's it.
L'chaim.
Right.
Toss it back.
So you
And
toss
we
it
have
back.
each other. And then
What did I miss?
Everybody make a Constitution saving throw. Eric with disadvantage because you had 2.
Oh, we taking
I would
shots?
like to add
Yep.
to the captain.
To the captain.
May
That's
he
right,
sail
Chappie,
upon
to
the
the captain.
seas. To Papa, and she will.
Okay. Constitution saving throws. What do you guys get?
13.
Okay. 2. That is not helping.
12.
That's gonna
2 plus
Thanks.
3?
2 plus
So that's
1.
5.
3.
3. Got it. Okay. That was the
12.
most
Thanks.
confusing fucking way to get there. 12.
Yeah.
thanks to the disadvantage. I got a 5. I had a
5.
17, but I had
Ubriel.
disadvantage, I got a 5.
I did not hear you.
6.
6. Beautiful. Ellie.
13.
13. Beautiful. Morel. Ken, I can't hear you, sir.
You're muted, Ken.
I think it's a 15.
15. Okay. What that means, because nobody got over an 18,
Oh shit.
is that all of you guys are drunk as shit off of one shot. Well, one of you off of 2 of this most purest alcohol, and all of you feel like on the insides the tingle of this electricity almost. And all of you went straight to I love you, man, like immediately.
So, question:
The burn.
Has
The burn
Pantry
is
had
good.
any?
No, he passed on it. He can't
taste it.
I will say Morella probably is gonna go and say, I want to pet that baby dog. And it's just like she just like is trying to pat Chantry on the head.
Don't.
And Ellie's trying to dance with the crab.
I tell the voice in the back of my head, don't ruin this for me. Stop it.
Who is a good dog? You are a very good dog.
I'm a very good dog, Chappie. Yes.
Morella,
Yes.
you take 2 points of lightning damage, and
So
you
fucking
get
worth it.
just a little shock.
It's before the long rest. I'm fine. I get to pet the dog. Totally worth like shock damage. I risk that in wintertime with my own dogs.
That's a warning.
That's rude. Don't do that again. You need to stop that.
Who are
Gale.
you?
I am very sorry.
I could ask you the same thing, my friend. Who are you?
You're in my body.
Well,
Yeah,
my name
I
is
don't want to be.
Chantry, wait a minute. Chantry, is that you?
I'm talking to the person in here. He's finally awake, I think. Listen, Chappie, here's the thing. You wouldn't be awake if I hadn't have found your jewel on the beach. So maybe, I don't know, don't wake up on the wrong side of the dog?
I sent you a message, by the way, as he is just grumbling right now.
My dears, I feel like who gave the alcohol? Eric or Ubriel?
Eric.
Eric. Morella's gonna just turn to Eric and is like, Eric, this shit gets you fucked up. Who the fuck is Chauncey talking to? Like, she just is like kind of at this point, kind of like huddled over a stump on the log. And
Make a deck save with disadvantage.
oh, God damn it. Like, Morella is more just like intrigued as to like why this, like, who is this dog talking to? Who's this other person inside Chantry?
No, all you hear is Chantry saying something. You don't hear the other voice.
So a deck save, that's an 8+. No, I know I don't hear the other voice, but like if Chantry is speaking out loud, Morella is like, who the fuck is Chantry talking to? Like, this is like really trippy, and she's kind of drunk, and so she's just like, the fuck is going on? That's going to be an 8+4, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yep,
12.
you are face first, flat down on the ground behind the log. And you feel very comfortable.
I think I'm just going to stay here for the night.
Eric, you are already passed out. Straight up dad snoring.
Just like real life.
I guess that makes us on watch then, friend.
Okay, so to fast track, the rest of you do drunkenly just fall asleep as this brood that Eric has.
I wanted to sing a song to Gail before Gail fell asleep.
You have a
In
song
my
for
drunken
me?
stupor.
God.
You
I
have a
wanted to
song?
serenade Gail.
That's so sweet.
Well,
If you
Gail.
fucking touch me again, I will fucking kill you.
What
That's
did you
all
do
I'm
with
picturing
the
him
drunken
saying.
sailor? What did you do with the drunken
But
sailor?
Gail,
What'd you do with the
Shh.
drunken sailor?
I admit that in the past I've been nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a warlock. But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch. Yes, I have. And I fortunately know a little magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed. And here,
Oh,
lady,
Jesus.
please don't laugh. I use it on the behalf of the dead, the poor, pathetic, poor, unfortunate souls.
And I'm going to stop you there before we get sued by the.
I wish Marilla was awake for this. Oh my god. Marilla,
I will say, you look over and you see Morella's foot just like twitching on the beat.
In the
Like,
beat? Yeah.
yeah.
Somehow Eric
But-
snoring is providing the backing track for this. It's perfectly
Yes.
in tune.
Marilla is weirdly humming harmonies as she's kind of snoring at the same time. Like
This is the best drunken bonfire ever.
Yeah, and if Ellie is still awake, she's totally jamming out with the crab, like trying to make crab hands dancing to his tunes.
Oh,
the castanets, like
okay. All right. So sleep does take you all but one. As Chantry, you find yourself the only one conscious.
Of course I do. I'll make sure everyone's taken care of, comfortable. If they're not comfortable, I use my teeth and just kind of pull them over. Like you'll see you shake out a blanket, he pulls it over a couple of them.
I'll say Gale is currently like curling up in one of Ubriel's wings, like trying to use it for a blanket. Like this blanket sucks.
It's not comfortable. It won't fit my body. Nothing is working.
It's because it's not a real blanket, Chappie. And I'll
Yes,
cover
it
him up with a
is.
real one.
Uriel's cradling his glass pitcher, and you hear him humming, "What would you do with a drunken sailor?" Like,
All right.
Cover him up by the fire and make sure he's nice and tight in the fire. Yes, he is going to go to sleep, but next to the fire.
Them in.
Uriel's very glad he has hellish resistance now.
And you
Mate, I
start
couldn't-
feeling a pull towards the shack. Get them in cover.
Get them in cover. What's coming?
And you feel the body moving without you
Oh,
as it starts pulling Ubriel and by proxy Gale towards the shack as he says again, get them in cover.
very well.
Stagger, fall, stagger.
Start
So
getting them
after-
into cover and
Yeah.
doing what I can, you know.
So after a while, and you do get all of them in cover, this other being within you is immediately wanting you to scan the tree line. Like, just, he is nervous. And you hear Morella starting to like sing in her sleep, and he says, silence her.
Just kind of like, I have an idea, but you won't like it.
What?
I go and lay down. I go and lay down next to her, and like I cuddle up next to her like a dog would, and I kind of keep it outside, and I just go shh.
You kind of hear Merlin just kind of like, she kind of jerks her head and she goes, "Do not tell me what to do." And she just like then finally goes silent.
Like,
and upon hearing Eric let out a rip of a snore, you again feel this body moving without you as he like takes a part of whatever he is wearing, like just rips off a piece and like shoves it in his mouth, like and like paw to the face.
Very well then.
As
All right, chappy.
all of you
I've got an
hear,
idea.
well, not all of you, but Chantry, you hear just a loud boom. And another one. You feel the kind of ground shake underneath you as you look at the tree line, and you just see trees shaking.
That's a tremor. We must go faster. Must go faster. I will got another idea, chappy. You're not going to like this one.
Shh. And you hear these bangs get louder.
If my friends end up being in trouble, whatever this thing is, I will draw its attention away from them and keep it on the chase for me instead of them.
Yes. And as you are thinking this, like the voice says, it likes movement.
Oh. Well, then we should stay still until absolutely necessary.
And you start to hear, similar to the movements that you make, just this kind of mechanical machinations just moving and grinding, and you hear the steps getting closer. And what is your response to this in this moment of just feeling all of this happening? And
for Chantry, it's kind of, he's scared because what the hell is this giant thing? What's going on with me? Like, I'm trying to adjust to this new life as quickly as possible for the sake of my shipmates. I have not had time to process this. As soon as I see whatever it is coming for us, I may end up bolting.
Even so, despite this thing saying, "Yeah, don't do that," you might end up doing it anyway.
Fight or flight response.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, fight or flight response. And I'm like, I think at this point, Chantry as a Kenku would choose flight, knowing that that's probably the best chance of survival for everyone.
So, what you see then, I'm about to put it in the... Oh no, I named two things the same thing. Let's try that one. Did that go in the right one? No, not the right one? Okay, let's try the other one then.
Come on, what's going on here?
There we go. So, you see...
Fuck this island. I'm swimming.
Gigantic metal snout. But, unlike the picture that I have shown you, it is not so pristine.
Oh.
You see that it is rusty in the firelight. One of the eyes is not glowing. You know, you can... This creature that you're inhabiting is letting you know that thing is not as together as that picture indicates. But that is it in its rightful form, as it is sniffing, and it just seems to turn around and walk back into the woods with the huge thuds and the trees crashing.
You didn't tell me that there was clockwork dinosaurs on this place.
What, you think that I'm the only one?
I mean, I had no idea. As far as I was concerned, you were just treasure that washed up on this bloody island, Chappie.
Metal doesn't float.
You could have been on something that floated. Fuck you. Go and bugger yourself. Seriously, though. Bloody hell.
That would be like buggering you, if that's any visual for you, because we appear to be in the same
dear
situation.
God, inside of a dog-shaped vibrator, then.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds unpleasant.
You're unpleasant. So it fits.
Well, you just charged in here, came waltzing in.
Nothing. Something was wrong with your outer shell. A friend of mine tried to fix it. Dear God, no, it could be fixed. Besides, what were you doing without your gem in the first place? How did you even get where you are? Who the bloody hell are you?
Name is Jason.
Jason.
Persuasion.
I was once a knight, a warrior of the Griffin's Gate.
History. I have history.
For this sake, well, you have to let me know.
Okay.
Is that something that would have survived stories of the Griffin's Gate? Would that have survived through the passing of an age and a calamity and all that, and like a restart of humanity?
Normally, no, because the Griffin's Gate is connected to Regans.
Okay.
And the Griffin's Gates appear as kind of a portal in between different dimensions. And once their use is done, they're usually forgotten and abandoned to only be discovered later.
What I'm going to say then, because you and I are going to work this out later, is Chantry, even with his history roll, would not be able to remember what this is. You and I will square this away.
All right, cool.
This actually plays into some lore that I wrote anyway, so this is beautiful. Wonderful. So he sits there like, this is why you must move during the day.
So you can't stay in one place at a time, then?
At night, it is best to hide. During the day, there are still things that will come after you, but they are much more manageable.
Like what?
Well, it all depends on what catches your scent. If you are lucky, it is the little ones that are only about a foot high.
Huh.
If you are slightly less lucky, there are some that are bigger, not too much. There's this one play that I watched once that they were a lot bigger than they should have been, like significantly, but really they shouldn't have been that big. And then if you're not quite that unlucky, there are a couple that walk around kind of more towards the evening that are similar but not as deadly.
So let me get this straight then. We're surrounded by clockwork animatronics that will kill us all, potentially. Are they all filled with souls like yours?
To the best that I know, I was the only one that the doctor came even close to getting.
The doctor? Doctor who?
No, that was a different doctor.
What? Never mind. What was the doctor's name?
His name was Dr. Dorzu Trugem. He was a gnomish gentleman. He, from what he told me, was exiled from Brondesh.
History, Arcana, anything ringing a bell?
Not on this guy, no.
Okay.
Because he was, again, you know what? Yeah, I'll say it this way. This was before the last calamity, not before the third calamity, not this last one that just happened.
Oh,
Some
bloody hell.
weirdos over in Ovria, but and when he mentions that, go ahead and roll a history.
17.
Okay, so as he mentions the last cataclysm that happened, basically the story goes that there was a time when the society of Manifel as a whole was much more unified and technologically advanced to the point where they started considering themselves above the gods. They saw the gods as inferior. But they wanted the power that the gods did have, so they tried to take it.
Mm.
And that made the gods upset. But unfortunately, they had grown stronger than the gods had cared to admit. So the gods basically opened up portals that let out the primordial gods, which were kind of picture the Greek Titans. Extremely powerful, extremely just primal and savage, and they basically came and just laid to the world and everything in it, except for the most devout. So, him mentioning these dinosaurs, these automatons, which you guys had heard stories of kind of as kids, like talking about, before the new times, that they were these robot creatures and they would run around and blah blah blah. Like it tracks. So Jason would sit there and explain that Dorzu was here trying to figure out a way to transfer consciousness from a living being into one of the automatons that he was known for building. But he was the first one that was any kind of a success, but Dorzu did not know it.
And he put you inside a dog and not a bloody T-Rex.
Yeah.
Score.
I don't.
Fantastic.
I think he came out. I think the T-Rex came out after me. I don't know. But
I don't know. I guess start small.
I was on a ship, and it wrecked, and I washed up here. And as I was wandering the wilds, these things got me, and before they devoured me, they brought me to the laboratory that's deep in the woods. And he did what he did. He was going on and on about Heltra and Prixis. I think they were some people that were close to him. He needed to save them or some such. I don't know.
So he experimented on you to save people he knew.
From what I can tell, yes.
Oh. And What happened? Was he successful? Is he still here?
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
I was making a run for it, and these damn rocks just started glowing, and, like the ones that you put back in my chest, they seem to be what he uses, and there was a great explosion.
I'm terribly sorry that happened to you, Jack.
Dog, and I did not see a thing until all of a sudden you came barging in.
Again, sorry. Didn't have much of a choice in the matter, chappy. But once I put your gem
generally, people ask first before entering another person.
No, generally, people ask first before sucking another person in.
Sorry.
That's right. Let your mind go, you dirty, filthy person, you.
Awesome.
You whore. You slutty McSlut bag. That's what you are.
Fuck you, John.
I wish I had popcorn.
You have snacks. That's just as good.
I ate all of them.
Oh.
Except for like my
cookies. All right.
No.
So, as you are sitting here having this whole conversation in your head, he just kind of looks at you and says, we must go into a stasis to maintain our energy.
All right.
We'll still be aware, but we need to rest so that we can guide these people, go back to where they need to go.
All right, then. We're going to discuss everything that you and I can do until we can figure out how to separate our souls from each other. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to take a rest and let you take helm.
Very well. Those who mentioned that there's a ship that is kept by more human-looking automatons somewhere on this island. I think if we can get to his laboratory, he might have the tools to perhaps separate us, or at the very least, maybe you could find the ship, and maybe there is some mage somewhere that could undo whatever this is.
I guarantee you that if you let Ubriel work his own magic, he could help us. He's an artificer, him. And he's bloody good at it, too.
Well, perhaps we can let him in on the morrow.
Talk to him. You'll like him, I promise. Till then, let's get some rest.
Very well. And you guys kind of power down, and that is where we will call it for the evening. Because that's a good natural standing point. So, welcome to the campaign, guys.
Yay!
Awesome first session. For anybody watching at home or watching this later, we appreciate you sticking with us for this 3 hours. It was wonderful. Keep in mind, this is only going to get better. And we are only going up. This is just the beginning.
This is a high bar already. This is a high bar.
And the fact that Chantry is like in a Robo Doggo.
And that took less than 10 minutes.
That was such a freaking twist for me. And honestly, I'm so excited to see where this campaign goes with everybody. Like, and I just want to give Ellie a hug. Like,
yay! All right. So, end of the trip, or end of the night, rather. Does anybody else have anything going on? Any announcements that you want to make? Any other streams that you're in that you want to plug? Because I am all about sharing the love.
Yay!
Anybody else got anything? Taylor, you got a few things.
Yeah. So usually, when it comes to my other amazing D&D group, aside from the wonderful Clockwork Nexus, To Be Diced ADV, we are going to be having, hopefully, Oz's one shot for Dimensional Dial of Dr. Diago. That'll feature quite a few players. We have a few players accumulated. I believe Oz will send out an announcement to accumulate the rest of the players for this one shot. We have the wonderful Tales of Varden on Thursdays, and which I participate in as the Grendels. And then we have our Star Wars tabletop RPG on Tuesdays, run by the amazing Daddy Tarzan 82855. So, but that's what we got on the agenda. But I know you. We have you guys have Monday coming up, don't you?
We do. On Monday nights, we run our other campaign where you can find myself DMing that one and Mr. Ken down there playing yet another perfectly sane character known as Skip Tracer, who is honestly fantastic. But yeah, that campaign is called Age of the Forsaken. I don't know if any of you guys watch it, but it is honestly wonderful. That one is also a blast. That's more of a Viking themed campaign, so that's pretty good. So anybody else, anything you guys want to share? Anything? This camera, that camera.
Brian,
Share what's going on in your lives.
Dice.
Say what?
Brian made me this fun Gale dice.
I did.
Woo! Yay.
Yeah.
Morella will be getting hers, like I said, when the post office is less construction-y.
Yeah, I
They're
got an
doing
announcement.
construction on the road right in front of the post office, so I can't get in it to ship your shit. But you have something, John?
I do. A buddy of mine has come up with his own TTRPG. I can't disclose a lot of details about it just yet, but he just got picked up by the CEO of, what was it called? Let me give me 1 second.
Oh, is that Quest Portal?
Quest Portal, yes.
Yep.
CEO of Quest Portal wants to push his stuff, so when the final draft is done and he's got the SRD up, I will be doing a full in-depth review of it. I've been playing the system. It is amazing. And the only thing I can say is it allows you to play any kind of character concept you could ever think of. And it does it streamlined and with ease.
That's beautiful. You got to talk to your buddy. We'll get him on for one shot in here.
I'm super excited. I would love to hear about this.
A snail?
New system.
It's called Snail. Yeah, that's it. It's called Snail.
No,
I think he's asking if you can play a snail.
I mean, yeah, if you want to play a snail, he can work it out with you.
Can we play
Hell
a sentient
yeah.
chair?
Say what?
Fucking
Can we play a sentient chair?
I mean, if you wanted to be a sentient chair, I'm sure you could play a mimic if you wanted to.
We're hooked. All right.
I'm here for it. Fucking
For
here
tonight, though, John, keep us appraised on that, because like I said,
will.
if he wants to host a one-shot on the live stream, I am all for it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But with having all that said, all you wonderful people here with me tonight, thank you for joining me and letting me DM you guys yet again for another fantastic campaign. Thank you for helping me feel like not a shit DM. With all of you with your aggressive affirmations have done a wonderful job at getting me there. But for tonight, anybody at home, anybody watching later, we love you all. How do you say it, Taylor? Don't do anything I want to do, and if you do,
it is have a good night, make good choices, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and if you do, have fun doing it and don't get caught.
Beautiful. That is the sentiment I will leave you guys on. Love you guys all very much. Thank you, and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.